In this lecture, I'm going to show you how I created this cover. Now, this, I want you to notice a few things of how I designed it. Basically, I just sort of created it actually as I went along. But what I want you to notice is how this is different to the standard cover. Well, most books covers are not, the words aren't angled like this. This is like a 3D effect here. Most book subtitles don't go across the middle. They usually appear underneath or above the title, usually underneath. And most book titles are not going like this and have this effect. And how many authors' names appear on book titles like this. But also I want you to notice the background. What a lot of backgrounds do is have either one uniform color, which is quite often shaded, which makes it look nice, yeah, or textured, something like that, or photographic. This is different and quite attractive as well, I have to say. So it's a nice color. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm not going to keep you waiting while because it took me about 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't want the video to be that long. So what I'm going to do is forego the bits where you don't need to be repeating myself. So I'm just going to show you how I did each step and then pause the video to do the rest of it and come back, because you don't need to see me spending time typing words and things like that. So of course in the other lectures I've already taught you a lot of these techniques. So with that, let's get going. So I've already created my book cover. I've done it to the usual size, 1850 wide by 2500 high, and it's the default white background, as you can see. So just to go in simply, first thing I did was I added the title words of my book. I hasten to add, by the way, this is not a book on any, in fact all these ones I'm using in these lectures to demonstrate how to do covers. None of these are covers published on Kindle. These I have simply created purely for the purposes of showing you how to design covers that are different and that will sell. Okay, so I'm just going to add the words now. So let's just simply go to the text tool and type in all these words. So I'm just going to pause the video while I type those. Okay, so I've added the words on. It's simple to add text, and I've put them in position pretty much where they need to be. I haven't turned them in yet to images, so I'm just going to do that now. So once again, just going to pause the video. Okay, so what I've done here now is I've turned each text layer into images pixelated, so we can adjust their size, manipulate them, because we'll need to be doing that, of course, to get this effect. So you know how to do that. Simply go on each layer and click layer, rasterize layer. Okay, just as a reminder. Now what I did actually to get this shape, I tried a few different things actually, but eventually I decided on this technique, so I'm going to do that while you're watching. So what I did was I went to the draw tool. Now remember, when you use the drawing tool, if I was to draw now, it would go on the layer I've got selected, and I don't want to do that, so I want to create a new layer. So it's this one here, adds a new layer, so everything we do now will just be on that. So what I did was I went to the drawing tool, I went to this one, I've selected border size 7, I've deselected fill shape because that we selected 7, so we can see it's a large cover. Now all I did was I just moved the cover so I could see the edge. I just clicked anywhere outside here because it's not exactly, and then I put it so that it's more or less where I want the, actually that's no good, so just undo that a moment. So I want to sort of get it the right size, so sort of move that up a little bit there. So when I built the cover, of course I just did it as I went along, but obviously I don't want to spend a lot of time with you doing it. So I just simply went here and I moved it down to the bottom of where I want the bottom of the letters to go. It's still at the wrong size, I apologize. Alright, that's more like it. So once again then, so I just drew it so it was at the bottom line of the box, or the square shape, shall we say, four-sided shape, was where I want the bottom of the letters to appear. So around about a little bit higher up there, I think we'll have it. It's about there. So I'm not worried about seeing the rest of the lines of that box, because we're going to get rid of this once we don't need it. These are just going to be guides. Now the reason I use the box, now you might be thinking, oh, we're drawing a line, surely you could use the line tool. You could, but then you have to be careful you make it straight. So a box tool always will have the bottom line perfectly straight, so you're going to get a perfect straight line. So, and then what I did is I went to the line tool. That's already on size 7, so we can see it. If not, you would adjust that. I placed my cursor there just about on the corner, and then I moved it, and it can be off the screen, doesn't matter, and you can just about see the line there. So I can move that so it's on top, right on the corner. So there we are, that's what I want. Or I could, if I wanted to, I could have started here and then drew it up to the corner there. Might have been better actually. So now I've got this shape. So as you can see, we've got a structure and framework. It's on a different layer to the letters. So I can now move these letters by using distort. So I'm going to do the first one and the second one, then I'm going to do the rest because you know how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to click on build at the top first, this one. So now we're just going to go edit, free distort. I'm going to drag the corners to where I want them to be against this line. So you'll notice there's a little bit of faffing about with this because sometimes it's difficult to see how close they are to the line. So you just got to use your best judgment first and then adjust it maybe after. So you can always use the distort tool more than once. So just simply try to get this where I want the letters to appear. Just drag that one to there. Try and get it to look straight, like so. Click outside. Yes, save changes. Now as I see, it's gone over a bit here. It's okay this side. So I just click free distort again and just move this one slightly in. So now it's on the line. Probably up a little bit as well. I want it to be level. And I want to check as well that it should be equal amounts to the edge as well. Click outside that and then move on to the next word and do that one. So I'm going to do that one with you as well. You can see what I'm doing. I just do this with each of the letters. You can actually click inside as well and move it around if you want. So just move that there, about there, and I made as you can see the words big at the top and at the bottom and get smaller as they go out, because of course when something is further away then the smaller the word gets. So you just use your judgment here. So try to get it on the line as much as you can, but as I said, if it's not perfect, do not worry. You can simply select distort again and get it adjusted. So I'm just going to get that one about there. I made that a little bit too long perhaps. So let's move that up slightly and move this corner to match, like so. A little bit fiddly this, but it's worth doing because look at the result you get. So I'm going to click that and save that, see what that looks like. Okay, you can see the line there, it's over the line there. So as you can see, the bottom build as well needs adjustment, so I'm going to click back on that one. Free distort, just you see the dots out here now actually, so it's easy to move it. So that's a bit better there, save that. And then we need to adjust the Y a little bit there. Oh, cancel. Clicked too far outside the area. If you click outside the area, then it thinks that you finished. So click there. Just move that up a little bit actually as well. So there. Check this side. This needs to come up a bit in. So yeah, it's a little bit fiddly as you can see, but like I said, the results are really worth it. So as I say, the more you do this as well, the more practice you get, but the better you will get, should I say. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm just going to do the same with the Kindle, book and business. Just pause the video while I do those. Okay, so there we are, a little bit of work there, but you know, just simply positioning it to make sure it tries to go along the line as close as I can. I probably could have done a bit better with some of the letters, but you know, with close in work. So for instance, that Y there, a bit far out, so what you could do to adjust that one is just zoom in. So we just need to move that across a bit so we can see the controls. So I'll just use this one. Actually, it did look far away until I zoomed in, didn't it? So we just click on it anyway, which is up here somewhere. There it is. You can see the zoom. When you zoom in, it's quite good if you want to do close work like that. So yes, and there we are. It's much better. Okay, so there we are. And then the next thing I did was import the background. So I actually went on Google Images and found this. So I just typed in red silk. There was quite a few choices. So I've picked this. As I said, I'm only using this. I haven't checked the usage rights, but that's fine. It's just for the demonstration only of this lecture. So then next I went down to the background. Although, as I said before, you can easily move these layers around, but just for convenience I'll put it in there because it'll import the layer above the layer you've selected. So layer, import URL. Let's paste that in there and wait for that to load in, and there we are. I could move this image around, but that's fine because we don't need to worry about that because we're just using it for the size of the book cover. Okay, so don't forget it'll only be the size of our cover, because if we check the image size we will see that it's retained its size there. Okay, so that's that, and then we went to colouring the letters. Now I don't want this video to go on too long, so I'm going to call this part 1, and then in the next lecture will be the continuation of creating this cover.